Hello, I'm Toycat and welcome back to a video. Today I'll be breaking Minecraft again, and the reason I'm doing this is actually for science today, because someone asked me on Twitter recently, hey, I'm about to get an Xbox One or a PS4, which version does Minecraft run better on? Because, you know, they wanted to make sure that Minecraft had the best possible thing, and although both games are very well optimized and they run very well, I didn't know for sure which ran better, because although the PS4's GPU is more powerful, and therefore most games run better there, Minecraft is actually quite a CPU-bound game, so you might figure that it runs better on the Xbox One. But rather than just assuming, oh yeah, we don't really know for sure, I figured, why don't I test it? So today I'm going to be breaking Minecraft on both platforms in exactly the same way. I'm going to see which version of the game breaks faster, which version of the game breaks harder, and in general, get a full comparison as to which version of the game will drop less frames when you're doing crazy stuff. So hopefully you do all enjoy today's Xbox One versus PS4 showdown. If you do all like the video, like it and let me know, because it helps out the channel, and lets know you do like these sorts of videos where I, again, break Minecraft. But today, again, science reasons, totally okay. So with that said, today's test is entirely fair. I have built this exact same world on the Xbox One and the PS4. It's 100 layers of TNT, one layer of stone brick with the exact same seed, exact same world size. Everything that I could possibly get down to the same thing is exactly the same. The minecarts are maxed out. There's exactly 100 item frames here with mostly the same formation. There's the exact same number of dispensers here with the exact same redstone thing to hook it up. Basically, everything is exactly the same. So, you know, this is just a test to see when you're trying to break Minecraft, which will break the fastest. Admittedly, you can argue there's going to be some differences between, you know, the wall of lag and all this stuff and actual real world stuff, but this should be a good kind of idea. So first of all, what we're going to do is we want to start detonating some TNT. The reason for this is because TNT will just, you know, it starts to, you know, take up some of the, you know, GPU engine. And basically, that's just going to run in the background, destroying more and more and more as you're going to start to see. But while that happens, I figured let's, you know, start doing some of the craziness by activating this redstone repeater. So yeah, the way we're going to be measuring how this will break is we're going to check the frame rate, you know, just by feeling it, like that's what I'm doing right now. As you can see, it goes down quite a bit, and then, okay, like this, we're going to actually, like, measure the frame rate after the fact, and then we can get a true comparison, because, you know, if one feels a lot better than the other one, then that's that. But yeah, that's the thing we can do. So just in case you're curious as to why I'm doing all of this and how this has broken the game, basically, Minecraft has real problems when you get too many entities on screen at the same time. Entities are anything that really involves moving, like item, for instance, like, minecarts, for instance. All of this stuff is an entity, and when you have too many of these on screen at once, the game dips down to what you can see right now, where we're getting like a frame every second. It might be less than a frame a second, but yeah, just like that, you can see the game's coming back for it for like a few seconds every now and then we're just going right back into the dark zone. But yeah, here you can see the game is running at about it's about 1 FPS right now. Again, I can get like proper statistical analysis afterwards. But yeah, it's running at about a frame a second. It's basically a slideshow, and it performs slightly better than the 360 based on my test in a similar situation. But it's not running very well at all. Again, this is you know, this is the absolute worst case scenario for the PlayStation 4, and it's handling it, you know, slightly okay. It hasn't frozen for 40 seconds like the 360, but again, it's not been running amazingly. And now as the fireworks are beginning to stop, you can see how it's just about gone back to okay. I'd say you know, now we're starting to get fluid movement again, and if I turn around and go somewhere else, we'll very quickly, in the space of about 5 or 10 seconds, we should get back to our original full nice 60 FPS. So yeah, this is 60 FPS, 60 frames a second, and if we go back in, it'll probably dip down a little bit more. But yeah, for now, that is the full that is our full test on the PS4. As you can see, it goes down super low. It was like a frame every other second, somewhere in there. But the game stood up. The game never, you know, did a 20-second pause like the 360. And now we want to test if the Xbox One does have pauses and even bigger breaks, if it breaks faster, if it doesn't break at all, and that's all we're going to have to do by switching over to the Xbox One, and then we'll do some analysis afterwards. So here you can see I am very much on exactly the same world on the Xbox One now. I should have proven that it was the Xbox. You can probably trust me that I haven't just done the same thing twice. Oh, that would be a clever way to save, I guess, 50% of the time. But no, this is the Xbox One now, as opposed to the PS4. There aren't any major noticeable differences, even though it's the same seed. This village is slightly different. Maybe it's a different angle from it. But yeah, everything is, you know, mostly the same. We've got the 100 layers of TNT, the 1 layer of stone brick, and the exact same number of max minecarts here, the full chest full of entities. As you can see, the same thing here. Same number of, you know, dispensers, same number of fireworks, and now we're going to do the exact same test again. So again, we're going to detonate the TNT, so massive chain reactions start, just somewhere over here, somewhere where hopefully it won't bother our stuff, so detonate that, let that whole chain reaction start. Then we're going to turn on the dispensers, again, same with the redstone, so same number of fireworks will launch, and the game's going to start to dip a little bit. Then we're going to start breaking all of these to let the entities free. So yeah, again, every one of these chests is filled with 64 stacks of items. We're letting like thousands of items go onto the floor right now, and the game is just not great at handling literally thousands of items. It looks like from here, it's handling it about the same as the PS4. Again, we're getting just over a frame a second right now, like, oh, yep, slideshow mode, but, you know, it's a pretty fast slideshow. It's like someone's really enthusiastic about whatever they're showing you, and, yeah, if we break this last chest right there, you can see how the game never really slowed down to a crawl. And, oh, all of the fireworks are done already, actually. So, okay, that's a really interesting little thing right there. So, even though, okay, so the reason this is so interesting is because just like that, we're already back to fine. So, based on, you know, just, again, this is, we can do the statistical analysis, make a look at it, and I'll give you facts on screen if you want to know for sure exactly which did better in which way and what way. But, if you saw any of that, the redstone seemed to happen much faster. I'm going to have to turn this off because it's annoying. The redstone happened much faster. Every single dispenser had a stack of fireworks. On the PS4, that took a solid, like, 3 minutes for them to all launch and be done with. And then on this one, as you can see, they're all finished within the space of, you know, how long you'd expect it to take. So that was really bizarre by itself. The redstone was not slowed down at all. The whole rest of the game was at, like, a frame a second. It was the same amount of, like, slideshow mode, you know, frame rate dropping. But everything else, like, you know, the redstone stuff, the minecarts, the explosions, it seems, were not actually affected by that at all, which is, it's rather interesting. If I had to guess, this is exactly the point I'm trying to make, or the exact point I made earlier, where the GPU is slightly less powerful on the Xbox One, which doesn't seem to have too much of an effect. Again, it might be very slightly more frame droppy, but can't say for sure there. But because the CPU is still just fine, the actual ability for the game to keep on making stuff happening, like, for instance, all of these minecarts, for instance, you know, the TNT explosions, but all that sort of stuff is still happening in the game entirely fine, which is rather interesting to me, because then it means that the Xbox One versus PS4 comparison isn't just, oh yeah, well, the Xbox One or the PS4 beats the other console. You know, one console isn't just better, but instead, they seem to both have the same propensity to not break. If you're curious, both games run at flawless 1080p 60 FPS 99.99% of the time. But when the games do start to break, if you decide you need 100 item frames, which you don't, or 200 minecarts on the same square, or 16, you know, all of this stuff together, and you start to lower the frame rate, where the PS4 has to drop some CPU power, it seems, to actually make all of that stuff happen. Again, just based on this redstone thing alone, where the PS4 actually slots to drop that too, the Xbox One will not. So, yeah, which console is better? I was expecting a more clear-cut answer, but I think the Xbox One clearly has done slightly better in the tests, but only in very specific ways. It's not just a massive stretch ahead, or even really any stretch ahead, it's just that the Xbox One can handle more tasks of a different nature at the same time than the PS4 can, which is bizarre, because then if it's doing those tasks faster, you have less frame drops, because they'll resolve faster maybe, and yeah, it's something worth keeping in mind if you are, you know, torn between the Xbox One and the PS4. If you don't intend to do stuff where you care about, you know, like redstone, for instance, crazy redstone in this particular case, then maybe it is more important you have the Xbox One, so it keeps going at the same speed. If it's not, then the PS4 and the Xbox One look like they're just about identical. But again, this is just based on my little test right here. I found this rather interesting. Real-world situations are going to be slightly different. But yeah, this is what happens when you crazily stress the Xbox One and the PS4. You get crazy frame drops. They go away faster, and they resolve faster on the Xbox One, but they do seem to happen at just about the same rate, and I guess the only key point is that both consoles are way better than the 360, so at the very least, we know upgrading is a good thing, not that anyone had any doubt about that, but yeah, there's a thing you might not have known about the thing. Also, oh, by the way, while all of this is happening, just a fun little side note that happens with both consoles, drinking potions is like extra hard for some reason, so you see, it took a few extra seconds there. But yeah, let's check out the TNC and say thank you all very much for watching. Like the video if you did like it. Share if you really liked it. A reminder, if you do both those things, it's good. Because there's going to be some number of like Xbox or Sony fanboys that are like, no, just because you tested it and it comes out one way, that doesn't mean I'm happy with the result. Ah, you're ruining my life or my console. You know, you get so many, there's going to be ridiculous people in the comments. I'd really appreciate if you counteract those with a like or a share or something like that. Or just leave a reasonable comment saying, that was cool, I appreciate the test. Okay. But yeah, with that said, subscribe if you're new around here, because I make videos like this one every single day on my channel. And if you subscribe, you'll see these videos daily on your homepage. Thank you all very much for watching. The TNT's still going off over here. And I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye, everyone.